Hi everybody, Dave Altavilla for HotHardware.com here with a quick look at the Toshiba Thrive. This is a new 10.1-inch Android 3.1 honeycomb tablet by Toshiba. It's based on NVIDIA's dual-core Tegra 2 processor at 1 gigahertz and has a gig of onboard system memory as well as 8 gig, 16 gig, and 32 gig storage options. The 8 gig model retailing at $429.99, 16 at $479.99, and the 32 gig model at $579.99. It is a stock Android 3.1 experience for all intents and purposes with the Thrive. As you can see, Toshiba does include a few additional utilities, things like the app place, the start place, and the book place. And just quickly looking around here, it's basically web-driven apps, if you will, that take you to Toshiba's bookstore. And we'll go back and take a look at the start place. This is sort of a news and information headline news sort of app, and also let's take a look at the app place. And again, online driven web based utilities here for apps, news, and ebooks. Let's take a look around the slate a little bit more, show you all the ports and features of the device. So again, the Thrive is a 10.1-inch Android honeycomb-based slate, has a native resolution on its panel of 1280 by 800, and it has good brightness, contrast, and color reproduction. As you can see, also excellent viewing angles. It's built with Toshiba's adaptive display technology, which basically is an ambient light sensor that detects ambient light and adjusts screen brightness and color saturation based on your lighting conditions. And so they actually claim that the display is visible in the brightest of outdoor areas. So we'll have to take a look at that in a little bit, but for sure the display is nice. Would say perhaps not quite as vibrant with the deep blacks that we've seen in Samsung's 10.1-inch Galaxy Tab with the Super AMOLED Plus display technology in that tablet. But again, a very nice display regardless for the Thrive here. And we are now browsing over an 802.11n onboard 802.11n wireless connection here. And as you can see, very responsive. We've got pinch and zoom capabilities, again, very responsive there as well. And again, that NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor under the hood, providing a very crisp, responsive experience. Looking around, we've got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera here, web camera with a microphone. You've got the back cover lock right there. You can actually pull the cover off. We'll show you that in a minute. Bottom of the tablet, you've got a pair of speaker ports, one on each end, as well as the sync port. And on this edge, you've got the power adapter as well as a headphone jack, and then underneath this little concealed door, this is where things get interesting for the Thrive. This is what sort of makes this tablet stand out from the crowd. Full-size ports here, folks. You've got a full-size USB 2 port as well as a full-size HDMI port and a mini USB port underneath that little cover here. So real nice. And again, if you'll tolerate the added thickness of the display, in return, you get these full-size ports. Full-size SD card reader, flash card reader right there, so real nice. Screen rotation, lock button, volume rocker, and power button. Pretty straightforward. And up top on the front of the slate, here is a power indicator light, drive indicator light, and a Wi-Fi network activity and indicator light. Now finally, here we've got our Thrive sitting on top of a protective microfiber cloth here so we could show you this. If you recall, we mentioned that the back was removable. There's actually a switch up top here that you can put in the unlock position and actually pry off the back cover of the Thrive. We actually did that. It's fairly easy to do. You just got to get your fingernail along the top edge here and pull back, and the entire back skin comes off the Thrive, as you can see. And really nice, you can actually get access to a number of key components here. Number one, you get access to the CMOS battery, the small watch-like battery right here that you could unplug. Perhaps might come in handy resetting the Thrive. But also, there's 2 unlock and lock buttons up top here, and you can actually remove the main lithium-ion battery for the tablet, which is actually a first. This is a user-serviceable, rechargeable lithium-ion battery pack by Toshiba. So, you know, if your battery goes dead, or perhaps you want to get a spare, you can do that with the Thrive. A nice option here, good access, and a first for us with any 10-inch slate. Okay, so we figured we'd take Toshiba up on their claim and take a look at this adaptive display technology, as Toshiba calls it, for the Thrive. And we're out here on the back deck, and we have what I would say is a relatively overcast day going on, and so not the brightest outdoor condition in the world, but definitely an outdoor lighting setting. As you can see, there's quite a bit of glare, obviously, but the panel is visible, and we would say the brighter it was out here, the less visible it would be, but not bad. You actually can still see the image quite well, again, except for that glare. But let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab in this case as well, and we can A/B that for you. And here's a look at the Galaxy Tab, and as you can see, definitely, deeper blacks and better contrast on the Galaxy Tab in this lighting condition. So again, the Thrive perhaps not quite as robust in terms of its display technology as Samsung Super AMOLED Plus display technology, but again, not bad. Taking a look back at the Thrive here, again, you can see still visible, but just not quite as rich and vibrant with deep blacks like the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. And here's a look at a really nice feature of the Toshiba Thrive tablet. Here's the Toshiba file manager that they built for Android 3.1. And as you can see, we've got three main areas we can choose from: internal storage, the SD card, or the USB device. We actually have a USB mouse plugged in here, and if you can look closely at the screen, you'll see our cursor is moving around very fluidly, and we're not touching the screen. We actually have a mouse pointer on the screen. Android 3.1 Honeycomb supports the use of a mouse, and so with the file manager, we can go here and click to our SD card, again, full-size SD card slot, and go ahead and browse to some pictures we have on that SD card. And so we'll just pull that up here, a nice little seaside setting. But as you can see, with the file manager function, with a full-size SD card slot on this tablet, and the ability to actually hook up a mouse and navigate with a mouse, you get some real valuable functionality with the Toshiba Thrive that you just don't get on tablets currently. And here we are playing Need for Speed Shift, which comes pre-installed, the demo anyways, on the Thrive. And with NVIDIA's dual-core Tegra 2 processor, 1 gigahertz Tegra 2 under the hood with the NVIDIA graphics engine on board, certainly the Thrive has enough multimedia and gaming horsepower for just about any tablet requirement you could throw at it. And this relatively impressive game engine actually looks pretty good and certainly fluid on the Thrive. And so we would say, all told, with its multitude of I/O options, full-size ports, user serviceable battery, and a reasonable price, 16 gig configuration of the Thrive, MSRP is $479 again. We would say that it's actually a pretty good value in Android tablets, certainly one of the better values in the market. If you don't mind a little bit extra weight at 1.6 pounds and a little bit extra thickness, it's definitely one of the thicker tablets on the market these days. But with that, you get full-size ports and that user serviceable battery and the back cover that comes off. So you really can't complain. It's actually a well-built tablet with a lot of horsepower and a lot of accessibility options. Stop by our site for the full review with all the benchmark details. I'm Dave Altavilla for HotHardware.com. Thanks for stopping by.